then we'll buy a bunch of trucks. I guess the next question is there anything else I'd like to do? Well, first of all, let's add another employee to our smokestack. I realize I've been building out this road infrastructure, but that's not necessarily the only thing I can be doing with my resource. In fact, if anything, I should probably be working towards those residential and office buildings. Well, I don't know. I'd kind of like to have roads in the place. One of the things I've noticed over time is if I don't have roads in place, the waste in the residential areas becomes too much to handle. So I don't think it would hurt for me to... oh, actually, there's another thing I can buy before the work shift's done. So I don't really want to put, really want to put a fuel turbine here, but a fuel turbine here will probably work rather well. Actually, here as well. Here is best, though. Yeah, what I think I'm going to do is once I have roadways down sort of at the edge of the potential office space. So basically residence, office, residence. I guess residence, office. This leaves me enough space for a filtration system. But yeah, I do want to get the roads down just simply because if I build a reliance on having so many, a certain number of employees and like an income, the last thing I want to have is, oh, I forgot, we're at 2,000 now. Can I get it in time? Probably not. No. Trying to think about how I want to build this, but if something spares left over here, that's not the end of the world. But yeah, what I'm going to do is there's going to be a roadway here just to kind of cover all of the building. Oh, hang on. I guess I have to do it this way. The water's in the way otherwise. Well, it gets me artifacts, that's nice. And our science lab's almost done.
Founder, you may have noticed that there are several patches of resource-rich land near your territory. Surface-level minerals and isotopes require no special equipment to harvest. This makes them the best choice for a new city. You should claim this land from the Council as soon as possible.
So notice where our waste is now. So we're below 800 where we used to be at 900. I've probably overcompensated as far as the smokestack is concerned, but that's fine. you know, will clear things out. I can convert some of those waste receptacles into something a little more useful to me. But we're back to the tech web, so let's think about the next step. So we're getting some money. Again, I think research efficiency is nice. I might actually want to do the pollution resistance now that I think of it. Employee limit's kind of nice. I should take a second and work out the... salary denegotiations. Wow, there's actually a few good ones here. I am going to start with the pollution resistance. Bonus to energy. Harvesting rate's not so important to me right now. So yeah, this the growth rate of the salaries is not linear. So this is a very conservative estimate of what my labor costs are actually going to be. But if we're at 1462 per employee, that's about 52 each. So I'm adding another 500 to my labor cost. I could definitely eat that cost and still be pretty comfortable. So probably. Yeah, I think the employee limit's the way to go there. Okay, in the meantime, we added that third floor, but we're not currently taking advantage of it. So if I have any tier 2s left over, I do, actually quite a few. So let's get our new setup. I'm a creature of habit. Okay, well, that's it for my tier 2 minerals for a bit. We'll have more monetization stations than we will have slots for or residential slots, but that's fine. It'll sort itself out over time.
Device complete.
So this is actually where I would want to put the road.
Device complete. Device complete.
I seem to have really messed... No, hang on. I got it. Office, residence, or something like that. Residence, office, residence, roads. And then the nice thing about that is it gives me access to sort of this area here if I choose to expand. There's a little extra in this area here, but I got to think about things like air purification and whatnot. How are we for tier 1? Yeah, tier 1, we're still fine.
Device complete. Device complete. Device complete. Device complete. Device complete.
So again, this is the work from home setup. So basically, these habitat pods in the middle always have, basically you just go directly in front of them and you're in your work slot. And then around the edges, you have one habitat pod that's sort of flanked by 2 monetization stations. So, person on the left goes left, person on the right goes right. You can fit 2 of those, basically 2 of those on sort of the long sides. And then in the middle section here, it perfectly fits 2 on the edges. So it's a pretty compact way of maximizing the use of your combined factory. The biggest drawback about this one by far, and particularly on the road, although the bit of good news here is that this road is not used as much as it could be. But one of the drawbacks behind this setup is that it's really not well protected against pollution. So that is a downside, particularly if you find influence hard to get a hold of. Actually, one consideration I do have is that if I take a look at my overall energy level, we're not going to be able to sustain a whole lot of office and residential buildings, so I'm definitely going to want to have another power plant. I could probably put those here. The higher pollution areas are the ones where I'd like to start putting things like conversion centers and turrets and that. The residential areas are areas I'd like to keep, away from pollution and closer to things like command centers if I can pull it off. But the command centers are definitely kind of a secondary consideration. Right now, I just want more bodies in the city corporation. Okay. Those look good. I will try and bring balance to the force with residential. I guess I'll keep these waste receptacles here. I don't feel good about it though. Okay. Another habitat pod down here. What building was I building? Oh, probably just the road. So, slowly making progress along the bottom here. I'm not really... I'm not... I'm not going to acquire new tiles to build roads, but the ones that I've already acquired, I'll happily build roads on. Again, we're not really taking advantage of it, and we won't be taking advantage of it until this is all just prep for the the residential areas and such. So the fact that I didn't have the tier 3s to build that here, I'm not gonna throw a small tantrum over them. Although I am going to slightly adjust. I am going to get annoyed if I see the "you can't build or you're not connected" message here. So it's also not immediately required for me to support this kind of garbage collection for all the residential buildings. It's just going to be one of these things I have to deal with at some point. So it's better that I just build the infrastructure now. I'm also trying to think if there's a benefit to me. So one thing I'm considering, like I could build the road down like here, and then I have sort of this spare spot, or I could build it down like here, and the spare spot goes over on this end. I guess it'd be slightly better if I kept the empty slot here if I had a fan, because I don't have any zethane that I'd be blowing away there. Probably doesn't merit that much thinking, though. Oh, I wasn't paying attention to the science lab. We're ready for another invention. Okay, so we can definitely afford the extra employees. I didn't think we could at the time. That's certainly one I'm going to research. Conversion capsule waste generation per employee. That's a pretty weird one to give up. That is definitely one I think I'd be willing to scrap. So I guess the thing for me is if it's just the waste that gets generated when originally converting the employee, like that's a one-time cost. And getting rid of 2 waste, like I kind of get that having lots of employees implies lots of waste, but it's really weird to see that as the sort of thing I'd be wanting to give up. Well, I guess I'm only giving up time. But yeah, this does not seem remotely as cool as some of the other stuff that we can get. Like, so, perfect example here, like the mining drones. Like, I'm clearly not getting the same advantage from resource patches like I used to, but that's very circumstantial. I can think of some situations where this would be a lifesaver. Energy plant production plus 12. Right now, that's helpful when I have multiple energy plants down. Like, this thing would be unimaginably good. So you can see circumstances where that sort of stuff is quite helpful. But I don't know, like reducing the waste from a conversion capsule, I just don't quite see the... I guess I don't really see the angle. Anyways, that's fine. I don't need to use it. But I am definitely going to get more employees, and I think probably we'll do salary denegotiations next. One, it'll only cost me the 1 artifact. Actually, you know what? Let's unlock the paths that I'm interested in. That's not bad, but I can think of better uses. Trade tickets are okay. I'm almost wondering if this one's included to, like, give you something to... like something you're gonna want to to destroy. All right. Sorry for the yawning. I'm a little sleepy. Not because of the game, because of the sickness. And I actually, so weirdly enough, I did get a full night's sleep, but I actually got up surprisingly early, which is rare for me. I actually normally have trouble getting started in the morning. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go around the edges. Seems to make as much sense as anything. I don't actually think we have the energy to do the full, like the full area, but there's stuff I can turn off. Like, we don't technically need to have the shipyard running at all hours. Please tell me I'm making this out of 3s. Yes.
Device complete.
Yeah, except for this holdout, we're basically ready to build all of the. Well, sorry, that's not entirely true. With this holdout, we have the roadway in place to build all the residential and office buildings. In practice, I'm going to need a dump truck of minerals and a heck of a lot more power than I actually have. So I think the way I'm going to handle that, the first thing I'm going to build is a fuel turbine up here. Now, at some point, I'm going to want to build a command center to get the other half down, but even just one fuel turbine is going to give me a little bit of a push to what I need. Because again, we're already at tier 3 on this. This isn't going to get any better. So this will give me a little bit of a start on some extra fuel. With a second power plant, ideally one that will be able to build up to the top level, but it depends. It takes 48, right? So I'm pretty sure a single fuel turbine will be enough. But yeah, once we get that in place, then we can start seriously considering building the residential and office buildings. And again, that's just going to get me the room for the population. That's going to get me the money to support a larger workforce. I can start building conversion capsules and high pollution. Again, the high pollution areas are just because it's a more efficient use of space. But that's going to be where kind of the next phase where the corporation really takes off. Because that's when we start having, lots of production lines. We start generating ridiculous amounts of tier 3 minerals at any given time. And then at that point, of course, you get the ball rolling because then you can just build more buildings and so on and so forth. And of course, because we'll have some research to help us keep our costs down and such, that'll also be helpful. Actually, while I'm at it, we do have some more isotopes. Yeah, we'll upgrade the science lab. Why not? I'm not fully in upgrade for upgrade's sakes mode because I am going to want to upgrade some of the stuff that I build immediately. But I don't know. I can see some improvements. I also think if we're going to be at the end of a shift at about 3,000. I'm going to give myself... Basically, I'll buy myself a ship each turn. I'm not necessarily going to build that ship, but I'm going to get in the habit of buying blueprint or chassis, I guess. Because again, we've already built we've bought all of the buildings, so that seems to be the next step in terms of I don't know, goodies to buy. Okay, with this done, again, it's going to take us a while to get the building set up, but I'm going to start saving my tier 3s. 180. Yeah, let's go for it. Oh, right. The battery drain. Oops. I think the way I'll handle that, actually, sorry. First thing I can do to handle that, we'll turn off the shipyard. Second thing I'll do, I will get that fuel turbine down sooner rather than later. just trying to think if there's any obvious steps that I should be taking otherwise. I mean, I definitely didn't need to build all of these roads at this time. It's just kind of something for me to do, really. But yeah, no, I think probably just the fuel turbine and energy plant is the right call. I mean, I can build the energy plant right away. That's actually not that big of a deal. Also, I'm shocked that we're being buried under waste. I suspect actually that we can't actually make anything. Yep. So we are producing at the rate that we can clean up garbage. That's a terrible place to be. So, I'm gonna clear the move resources crowd and I suspect probably a lot of this, once the construction's done, we'll have a few more. We'll have a few more people ready to clear up the factory. The other alternative that I have is to actually make cleanup a higher priority than processing. Yeah, no, I think I'm just going to leave it. And what I'm going to do is I'll grow my workforce to have a little bit more surplus. All right, that's the last of the... That's kind of the last of this prep work. I'm going to buy myself a bunch of trucks. And then... minerals-wise, we save up for the the fuel turbine and the office space. Credits-wise, we're buying more ships when we can afford them, and over time, we're going to be able to add more workers, but for some reason, we're going to wait a while on the isotope. Well, I guess it's because I just gave my workers so many jobs. But yeah, in any case here, it's going to, I think it's 200 for a fuel turbine. Yeah, so we have a little bit of a wait. Nothing too catastrophic. The other thing for me to remember, too, is that with the power, I also want to make sure that I have a... I want to make sure that I've got enough for a turret at some point, because again, this is a fairly precious resource. I'd like to have a decent enough chance of defending. There's a small argument actually for me to maybe put the turret like somewhere here. We've got pretty good coverage already. I don't think I'm gonna need the 400 minerals before I can mess with that. So like this is almost too close. Problem is that I didn't really leave myself a lot of space for the turret. So this would be the... Oh, that's a sinkhole. So this would be sort of the next logical spot, which might leave a little bit of a gap. If I bring it up to tier 3, that'll probably cover... I think there'll be like a dead zone in the middle there. So it might make more sense to, well, yeah, this might actually be the better spot for the turret. I don't know. I think we get to see the range in the when we're placing it down. So, okay. So yeah, that is a bit of a power hog. Well, that was my choice to build it. I think we've got quite a bit of power, so we can safely ignore this for a while. But I do want to keep an eye on it, let's say. But it looks so cool. By the way, I think it's just because they move a little bit faster, but it looks like they are really running. Like, I love these I love the fact that they had the energy drinks and they've got a little extra hustle. It's a minor point. Like, I'm assuming this is just the game behaving the way that it's supposed to, but for some reason I like noticing those little touches. As you can see, I don't feel a lot of threats by the rebels right now, given where the meter is. So I'm not at all worried about not having a lot of credits for, for repairs and such. Okay, so we're gonna get some conversions done in a little bit, but before I do that, let's pick a new research project. So there was the efficiency, but I think we'll take care of the salary negotiations first. Okay. That's 10 new jobs, and oh yeah, I forgot that I had conversion capsules kicking around too. So if I wanted to save a little money, I can also shut these down. But again, we've got so much power in reserve. I don't need to worry too much about it yet. Okay. Oh, interesting. I don't have any tier 2s. Well, I guess that's because I don't have any tier 1s. Okay. I'm going to need to... I'm probably going to need to upgrade the mine then. Oh! Now the people start dying to pollution. Wait, I researched the resistance, didn't I? Yep, still dying. I guess it's a good opportunity to sell the virtues of becoming an employee. But yeah, turbine's on its way, which means we will be able to get a power plant up and running shortly after. I'm slightly annoyed with myself. Well, it's not even with myself. It's just how this stuff turned out. But we have space. I guess the better use of this space would be 1, 2. I guess it doesn't matter. I could do 1, 2, or 1, 2. I guess this gives me better access to the... Well, does it? I don't know. I will claim the patches though and clear them out. One at a time though. I don't see any point in... Don't see any point in wasting workers that could be doing cleanup duty. One more truck, and then I've got a full transport hub. I was gonna say, but there's 3 empty ones, but it's like, oh yeah, I actually do use the trucks. I don't just show them off. So this is going to be space for 2 power plants. I'm only going to build the 1 for now, but it gives me options. Under normal circumstances, I would want to minimize the number of power plants I build because it's also same with turbines, because it basically, if you can double up a turbine or a power plant, you minimize the number of workers that are being used up by them. But given that I now know that there is a research option that will give you 12 each power plant an extra 12. You know, if you so the way to think about it would be, so let's consider this energy plant here. So this energy plant on its own is 48, and it requires 1 employee to use. If you have a second one, actually I can't remember what the doubled up version is. Presumably it's 96. I might be wrong on that. But it requires 1 employee still. So essentially the amount of energy that you're generating per employee goes up considerably in exchange for the inability to, well, I mean, you have to give up you don't give up another tile because you're already giving up that tile to build the other one. So I suppose if the adjacent tile meant something to you, that would be a factor. But yeah, essentially all that you're giving up is a couple of isotopes and the ability to burrow the thing, which to me seems to be a really good trade-off. But the other thing to consider would be if you have 4 energy plants and that upgrade to you is basically equivalent to getting a free energy plant. If you do what I do, which is to have the energy plant, take it up to tier 3, and only use the 1 employee, then that is worth a quarter of an energy plant for you. And that's obviously a considerably less attractive research option. So I'm definitely planning on, I mean, with everything, I'm planning on making it bigger and bigger and bigger and better and better and better. But I'm definitely a little bit more inclined to build a lot of different power plants, knowing that I have a research option that will make those power plants generate, like, the existence of the power plant gives me a boost of 12, or like another 25% to just a basic plant. It's not something I'm falling over myself to do, but it is something that I'm keeping in the back of my mind as far as generating new plants. I think probably I want to build the turret next, though. The way I'm thinking about it is that if I can get the turret down here, then that means that we're defended in the center, we're defended in the next high value location, and I have a free ship to sort of help protect this side. If there's a major attack, like if there's a high quality ship that comes after us, this ship's not necessarily going to be able to handle it, but other than that, we're more or less covered defense-wise. And again, the idea here is that the longer I can take to build certain defensive structures, the more those resources can go towards things that will help me in terms of production. So for instance, if I build the turret now at 62%, that really doesn't get me anything. If I build that turret at, say, 80%, okay, I'm getting a bit closer to something that I can see a practical benefit for. Sorry, one other consideration I have is my isotopes, because it doesn't, like, I don't just need to keep the cost for the tier 3 in mind, I also need to keep the cost for the intermediate levels. Also want to make sure, okay, we're still making enough money. Well, that's yesterday's totals, but... yeah, I think, given that things are slowing down with the isotopes, I think what I'm actually going to do here is, once the power plant's up, I'm going to take the minerals, and I'm actually probably going to upgrade... I'm going to double up the mine. Again, I got to be a little careful on this because of the total number of employees that I have, but that's upsetting. Oh, it's money for spaceport storage. Should have paid closer attention to that. But yeah, I do kind of want to boost up the mine if I can. Just in general, like get us to a level where the factory's not constrained by the number of or by like the rate at which we're mining. But after that, I definitely want to get the turret up. Love seeing all those trucks run, though. Although, still have a lot parked. So once this patch is dealt with, I will probably double up and upgrade this energy plant. We'll see. I mean, circumstances may push me in another direction, but it also occurred to me I started building this but never finished. Oh, it's too slow. Ah! Okay, I'm gonna hover over it. I'll probably need two. I'm probably gonna need like 2 hits. One to activate the. What's that ticking noise? I'm assuming this is maybe the start of the workday. Okay, trade tickets not as important. HQ range is kind of nice. Rival time's not super important. Research efficiency is tempting. Waste is not. Harvesting rate is not really important. Generator output's nice, but this I basically get for free. Although then there's a quite like, what is my next option? So yes to this one for sure. So extra mine range, not at all important to me right now. Research efficiency 40, sure. And we already know this, so okay. I'm definitely getting kind of to the limits of what's interesting in this tech web, but that's what the scrap option's for, I believe. And looks like we are ready for an upgraded power plant if I was so inclined. Catch is that I don't actually really need it now, so. Ah! There we go. So I still need two monetization stations and then 1 monetization station here, but after that we are good to go citizen-wise. Oh, I built it, but I forgot to connect them. All right, we're at 225. So again, I'm reluctant to build the second part to the energy plant. I don't really feel like that's necessary right now. We are at 75% on the threat meter, so I think we will go for the full 400 minerals-wise. It's a little earlier than I wanted it, but it looks like our progress has been noted by the rebels. I should probably turn on the shipyard. Actually, yeah, now that I think of it, I've probably got about 1,000 minerals accounted for just in defense expenditure alone. By the way, I noticed in my Twitch chat, I suspect it's probably been a bit of a quiet night tonight, but I did notice in my Twitch chat, I got a couple of welcome to the chat room messages. This usually means that I haven't been able to see chat for a while, and I'm only just finding about the reestablished connection. So if you said something and I didn't respond, I apologize. It's only because I didn't see it, not because I didn't want to respond. I'm certainly happy to answer any questions that might have emerged that I failed to address at the time. Yeah, I don't think there's a lot I can do about the pollution. I'm basically going to have to wait on the science lab to get me to the next spot. Yeah, 400 for a turret. Let's take a quick second here and see what the goals are. So, wait, really? Only 20? Oh, Jesus. Okay. So basically, we need to build 5 of these transport hubs. I keep forgetting the goals are actually quite ambitious. So the citizens one seems pretty straightforward, and that'll cover me as far as both economic and political. Upgraded buildings also seems consistent with expansionist, because if I have 100 upgraded buildings, it's probably not that hard to get another 20. Destroy 2 rebel HQs is pretty straightforward. Landlord, I'm pretty much automatically going to get just through my normal uses. 22 defense turrets seems really high. I mean, those things are not cheap. And council obelisks. I suspect that's the device formerly known as the Council Monument, but I don't think I've seen one of those since the science lab got added. I'm really just waiting for us to get to that 400 mark. Oh. Let's see if I can sneak a monetization station in. No! Got it. All right. I think we said we were going to do the energy plant. Welcome. Every once in a while, you just want to buy a new design. Okay, there's our 400. So one of the big things I want to settle by looking at this is to say, now, admittedly, this is a short range version of this. So my original fear was that. So I take a look at this. Actually, here's what I'll do. We'll say you know, here's the limit of the protection we have, right? So if we can get to the edge of the screen, we're okay. If we can't get to the edge of the screen, it's too weak. So you can kind of see, right? Like, is it likely that it's going to be covered by the turret? Yes, it's likely it will be covered by the turret. Is there a chance that important infrastructure is going to be hit and the turrets can't do anything about it? Also, yes. So for that reason, actually I should probably keep it. Like, this seems to make a little more sense. This admittedly does not cover the mine, right? Ooh, actually, the one thing it doesn't cover is the inert ruin, which is a pretty high priority. Okay, well, I mean, that's why we do these tests, right? So, probably the command center is going to be left high and dry. Which, incidentally, is not nothing, right? Like, if I lose that command center, I lose all of this. But, again, we have ships to hopefully help in an emergency. I'm going to speed things up a little bit because I do need to wrap up for tonight, and I'm hoping to at least get this little home account or built up. Okay, just one more of those and we're good to go. Unfortunately, the threat growth, it's there, but it's not catastrophic. So I have a feeling we're probably going to be in a state where we can upgrade the turret before they arrive. I'll still need to fill in the remaining slots. I suspect it's going to be a little... Oh, actually. I spent all the money. That would have fit perfectly. Hey, nice. Okay, trade tickets, HQ range. HQ range is not bad because that'll actually, I think that'll win me one of my corporate goals. I probably want to grab one of these. It looks like I'm going to have to go... Well, you know what? Max Council trade tickets isn't that bad, though. Alright. I'm sitting on 55 influence, so probably time for me to consider some of these obsidian ruins. As always, I want to see if there's something higher value that I can work with, but... I think we've taken most of it. Okay, so... Minerals are pretty attractive. But honestly, at this point, we're just, we're sort of reaping the benefits of our earlier effort. Okay, we're at 117 for isotopes. So I will confess, we're actually acquiring isotopes at a slower rate than I thought we were going to be. And it definitely doesn't seem to be the case that... it doesn't seem like we're processing too slowly. I don't really want to invest a whole lot in... I don't want to do, sorry, too much investment in the in the production lines until we're a bit more secure as far as residences and offices are concerned. Those are coming, by the way. What I want to do is get another energy plant down because plus 28 is really not going to cut it. But once that... Actually, we can afford that now, so... Oh, that's a shame. Yeah, I don't have the tier 2. Alright, well. It's life, I guess. So I'm going to have to give up another tier 3 to combine these. But yeah, once the power is in place, we will we'll finally kind of get our office complexes down. I have the influence now, so I might as well clear these out. So this stuff's kind of nice to clear out when I can, just because it is worth quite a bit, but honestly, I know given enough time I'm going to be able to get the tier 2 and tier 3 resources that I need, so that's not as high of a priority. The biggest thing that I would like right now actually is just to be able to delay the rebels long enough to get this defense turret leveled up. As long as that happens, we can have the offices and such be a priority for the fourth wave. I should be a little worried about the upcoming wave, just because I still only have one ship, and I believe it's one of the stronger ships that arrive in the fourth wave. Like, I think it's the first time you see a burlier enemy ship. But I don't have immediate recall of that, so I we'll learn to live with whatever comes up. And I think once this energy plant is built, which may be a while, we should probably call it for a night. It's 90 minutes longer than I was normally going to do, and I do actually need to get a proper rest, so... I had a couple things I wanted to do tonight. I was on a bit of a roll on a side project, but I don't know. I like Titan, and I felt like I had a little too much prep on the last episode, so this is a chance for us to like really make some choices as far as like what the idealized version of the city is going to look like. Storage full? Oh, I think I know why. Yep. Notice we've kind of stalled out on the waste as well. That surprises me a little bit. Especially given the fact that the smokestack is empty. Okay, I'm gonna make a potentially reckless choice. So once the trash starts moving up here, I'm gonna stop. That's why I didn't get rid of this one. Actually going to put cleanup. I'm not going to put it above processing because we do actually need processing to happen. But wait a minute, dismantling device? What are we dismantling? The HQ range is actually kind of tempting, but we know we can get to the Council Obelisk here. So truck pollution -15. That's a big one, especially given the deaths that are happening. Oh, that's right. There's a new ship weapon which I haven't tried yet. I'm not worried about this battery drain. That'll get solved on its own. I think we're 25 short. Yeah, I am going to build the... we're probably too late on building the second one, but... Except, like, again, I do want to get the residences and offices down, but now is not a bad time for me to get the next ship up. We're obviously not ready to... Like, I'm going to have to build another shipyard before we can build the heavy hitters. But that's fine, because like I've still got space to deal with. I just think to build the really big ships, I want to have a better mineral. Like I want to have something better in place for generating sort of tier 3 minerals. And I mean, we sort of have it in Factory 6, but it's not actually delivering all that much. So with that in mind, just again getting the infrastructure in place to have just a whole bunch of employees and work for them, and then to be able to combine that with a bunch of conversion centers and have just this massive workforce, which I just put to work on. Like, my ideal form is going to be that there's two level 3 factories combined, and they're doubled up, each with 2 production lines of 2 level 1 to tier 1 to tier 2 resources, and then 1 line with 2 employees of tier 2 to tier 3. So in total, that would mean 4 per line, 2 lines, so that's 8 per floor, and then 3 floors. So that's 24 employees each. So that would mean there would be 48 employees dedicated to resource production alone. That's not including the people who are going to be tending to the inputs and such. So that's the idea of the scale that we're going to be working with. And given the fact that we're not even at that number for our overall employment right now, you can kind of get an idea of why I would want to boost the the overall level of employees and the overall level of citizens and monetization stations before I'd consider that. Plus, I mean, it is one of my corporate goals, so it probably is the better reason. Anyways, I think I did say I was going to wrap up at the energy plant, which has happened here. The other thing I should do is upgrade... Oh, hang on. We can't upgrade the turret. Hopefully we will do that before too long. But one way or the other, I think I've actually just noticed in general I'm talking a little bit less. And when I do, I'm losing my train of thought a little bit easier. So probably not a bad indication that I'm not 100% yet, and I should leave it be. But as always, thank you very much to Brace Yourself for letting me share their game with you. I'm looking forward to the next update, but I also know the sooner the updates come, then the more pressure I feel to finish a current playthrough. So definitely they can feel free to take their time. But I am going to try and find someone to host tonight, because I was originally thinking we were going to be doing Dirty Rectangles, and that's clearly not what's happening. You know what? So I will mention that Night Valian is streaming tonight, but I would really like to host Intelligame, because Intelligame normally has quite a few more people watching him. So I'm not quite sure what he's playing. But I'd love to show a little bit of extra support to him. So I will just shout out Night Valian again. He's playing Monster Hunter Rise. But tonight we are going to raid Intelligame. As for the rest of the streams, on Friday we're going to be back to Darkest Dungeon, which I'm having a whale of a time with. And then Monday we will be back to Stellaris, which has kind of got its second wind. And then on the following Wednesday, that one will be an earlier stream. And we will be playing Phantom Brigade with the new update, but it will probably be a 2-hour stream. Anyways, have a wonderful evening. Please treat Intelligame well. I think I've probably lost most of you at this point. But again, for those of you who do hang out with it, I hope you enjoy it, and we will see you in a couple days. Until then.